Hi, welcome to the Yoga for Starters series. This is the last one that we will have for the year 2021. I almost said 2022. I'm trying to skip ahead to the next chapter. So with that in mind, one of the things that occurred to me is that in the last email from Innovate Springfield, Sarah and Trisha and Hillary's accomplishments were highlighted. And I think it's a really good idea at the end of the year for us to celebrate our successes and share in that, not just with our community, but even with ourselves. So this practice is going to be an opportunity for you to reflect on your successes and your joy this year. It's going to be a little bit quicker style than I typically teach in. It's going to be more of a celebratory, faster flow, and hopefully you will enjoy it. So I'm Amy Denney. I'm an Innovate Springfield member and owner of Shine Light Therapy and Yoga. And I'm just going to invite you to come into child's pose on your mat. So go ahead and take any variation of child's pose that you like. If you want some support for your spine, keep your knees together and bring your arms out in front or alongside the legs. You can also have your knees wide, toes together, and bring your chest down toward the mat, using a block if you need to, just to give yourself a little bit more boost. And just start to notice your breath. Take pause from your day. And as you come into this practice, this quick practice, just think about the last year and pick a couple of things that you're particularly proud of. Bring those things to mind, and we'll just begin a flow of celebration. So my words are just suggestions. Listen to your body, and never bringing any shame or judgment to the mat, but just doing what feels right for you. So we're just going to start by coming into down dog. So coming into table and then curling your toes and lift the hips. You can bend the knees very generously in down dog. Maybe you pedal it out and just have fun with it. Maybe you put on your favorite upbeat playlist. Pause me and get your playlist going and really just have this time to celebrate your successes this year. Then we're going to come right foot forward first, so you can come into three-legged dog, or even just reach back, grab that leg, pull it forward. Drop your left knee, coming into a low lunge. And let's plant your left hand as you lift your right hand high. Take a twist. Pressing into the mat with your hand, your leg, your foot, reaching up. So you're grounded and buoyant. Good. Bring this right hand down. We're going to flip this left foot and then place the foot flat on the mat, toes out to the long edge of the mat, and bring the arms up over the head as we lunge forward. Hips are forward, kind of creating a long diagonal line. But from here, we're going to come into a high crescent lunge. So rotating the back foot so the heel is high. Your knee is still over the ankle in the front. Maybe you bring the hands up. You can leave them at the heart. Anytime you lift the hands, you are raising or elevating your heart rate, kind of coming into that celebratory, more upbeat flow. Stay here or take a twist from this posture, bringing your right hand behind you, your left hand forward. Your gaze follows your right hand, looking over your shoulder. Keeping your back foot stationary, not dropping the heel. Good. And then like a windmill, Windmill, we are going to rotate the arms all the way as we drop the back foot, come into warrior two. Gaze comes over the front hand, stacking shoulders over hips. Lots of energy flowing out of the fingertips as you gaze forward over your front hand. Pressing down into the feet, really pressing into the bladed edge of the mat, opening up your hip here. So your knee should come back and you should be able to see your toes. Nice stretch on the hip. Maybe allowing the breath to come down just a little. Good. And then we're going to bring the hands on either side of that right foot, rotate the back foot. So we're in a runner's lunge. From here, we're going to come back to down dog. If you want, three-legged dog, bend your right knee, maybe take some rotations, opening up the hip. If you want to be a little bit more playful, perhaps flipping your dog here, dropping that right foot behind you, opening the heart up toward the heaven. I love this posture. It's so playful and so fun. Definitely a celebratory one. Good. And then come back out of that to your downward dog. And you can either stay in down dog or drop your knees, come to child's pose, and catch your breath if you need to. I do when I'm talking. So my heart rate is definitely up. As you pause here, just to consider, we talked about at the beginning of the practice and brought to mind things that we are most proud of that happened this year. So now just thinking about some of the things that you learned. What were the lessons? There aren't really any mistakes so much as there are lessons learned. So bringing some of those to mind before we begin to pick it up and do the opposite side of the body. By the way, I don't recommend yoga on carpet. It's not the most stable, but it's the most available room that I have right now. Thinking about those lessons learned. I'm going to turn this way because I do not have time. I do not have room to flip my dog in this room, the other direction. So when you're ready, coming back up to that downward dog, maybe noticing how it feels a little different this time. You can bend the knees generously as you bring the chest, kind of pushing it toward your knees. And you're wrapping those biceps around. You're wrapping the triceps back, the biceps forward, opening the heart. This time, stepping that left leg forward, you can grab it and pull it forward, drop your right knee, and then lift left hand up. Take a couple breaths here. Good, then curl the right toes and drop the foot down to the mat as you lift the chest up, really engaging, hugging the midline and coming into that diagonal. Lunging warrior. Really pressing into the four corners of both feet here and engaging the core. Lots of strength. Good. And then coming into crescent lunge. So rotate your right foot, heel to the sky. Maybe hands come up. Maybe they come to the heart this time. Take 2 more breaths here. Just inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring your left hand back, right hand forward. Gaze follows that back hand. Heel stays lifted, knee stays pointing forward. Okay, for one more exhale. Good, and then we're going to pull these arms all the way around, find warrior two. Make any adjustments that you need to. Checking in with your posture. You're stacking shoulders over hips, knee over ankle, pulling that knee back. You should see at least the first two toes from your vantage point. And really just letting the energy flow out of the fingertips. This is an energizing posture. Good, go ahead and rotate those arms down, runner's lunge. And then either come to down dog or pull your left leg through for three-legged dog. Maybe stay here, bend your left knee and do some hip circles, or maybe you want to flip the dog. So whatever you did on the other side, doing that also on this side. This posture always makes me feel like a kid, just kind of being silly, flopping your body all over the place. It's very joyful. And then making your way back to downward dog. Good, go ahead and walk your hands to meet your feet and just hang in a forward fold for a moment, maybe bending the knees generously, maybe rocking from side to side. Good. Let your hands just be soft and heavy and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Maybe your hands, your fingers just graze the legs. As you roll up, your head is the last to come up. Good. Step out in a wide-legged stance. Toes are pointed forward. Or standing open A, maybe bring your arms up for star pose. This is an energizing power posture. Always great for boosting self-confidence. Good. Hands to your waist. Go ahead and bend. Lead with your heart as you come into a fold here. Maybe you walk your hands through. Maybe you grab your ankles. Whatever feels nice. So you can have a bend, a micro bend in your knees. Drop your left hand to the middle of the mat and reach your right hand high. Switch sides, drop your right hand, reach your left hand high. Good. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Bring your hands back to your hips and unhinge from the hips. As you bring your body back to standing. Great job. Toe heel your way back into mountain. And then we're going to come into a seated posture on our mat. So we're actually going to come into fire logs. So bring your right leg down to the mat, gentle flex in the foot. Your knee is kind of out at, it's a little less than a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to stack opposite on top. So the important thing here is that you keep your spine in a neutral posture. So if you're kind of doing this to get your leg up, then simply drop your leg in front, one leg in front of the other. But if you are able, and this feels nice for you, then you can have the legs stacked one on top of the other. Some of you maybe have your knee right on top of your ankle. Some of you, like me, do not. Doesn't matter, it's all about the stretch, not how you look. So you can let go of that and just be here for the stretching, for the flexibility, for the growth, for the celebration of where you are at, for the release of judgment. Gently release and we'll switch sides. So left leg on the bottom, just a gentle flex and the ankle protects the joints You may notice one side feels or looks completely different than the other. That's completely normal. Fast yoga can be fun. We feel like we're accomplishing something, but it's actually in these slow, long stretches that our muscles and fascia and tendons start to just really stretch and open up. All that space between each vertebrae, all those muscle fibers. You're just imagining sending your breath to the places where you feel the most sensation. Even though your breath isn't actually going into your hip right now, it helps you just keep your mind on your hip, knowing that even though it may feel uncomfortable, that there's growth happening there. Just as you look back over the year and probably recognize where some of the most uncomfortable situations were the places where you felt the growth in your business or in your personal life. So we just breathe into those tight spaces. We acknowledge them. We don't run from them. Excellent. Go ahead and release that leg. We're going to do one more hip stretch. So coming back to all fours, we're going to pick up the left foot, step it forward to the outside of your hands. So both of your hands are on the inside edge of your left foot. And then you may adjust your back knee wherever it feels comfortable. If your knee does not feel comfortable, you can lift it off of the mat and stay here. So this is called lizard or dragon pose. Your knee should be over your ankle on the front foot. And maybe you just gently press your collarbones forward as if you want to shine your heart in front of you. You just notice how that maybe feels different with the stretch. Maybe you come into that cat back. If you push the mat away and arch your back. And then as you inhale, pressing forward in a more cow-like posture. Just noticing how the stretch feels different. Always listening to your body to see what is best. Good. Stay for the exhale. And then we will switch sides. So bring this left foot back. And the right foot forward to the outer edge of your mat. Hands are on the inside. Make the adjustments that you need to make. Knee can be down, knee can be up. You can even come to your forearms if that is something that feels nice for you. But continue to explore like what it feels like to press and open your heart forward. And just access those deeper stretches. Good. One more breath here. And then let's release that right foot. Just sway the hips from side to side, anything that feels nice. Maybe you want to make circles over your wrists with your shoulders. Going in both directions. And then when you're ready, coming into your final resting pose, maybe into corpse pose. If you have low back issues, bringing your legs to the outer edge of the mat, let your knees just fall inward. And then let your shoulders come out of your ears. Maybe your hands rest on your tummy. Maybe they come out alongside, palms facing up. So just explore some options and see what feels best for you. And we'll go to the last question. And that is, in what ways do you feel like you've changed or grown this year? Maybe you just pause here to think about January and where you were at the beginning of the year and how far you've come. What doors were opened for you that you maybe didn't see possible at the beginning of the year? Maybe people that you've met, collaborations that are happening or have happened, events. Just looking back over the last 11 months with a heart of gratitude. And I'm honored to say to you that I am so proud of you. Congratulations for all of those things that you brought to mind tonight. And there may be more as you reflect on this year in the coming weeks. And then just thinking about, what next year and the possibilities bring, being mindful and allowing yourself to dream as we look forward to, a new calendar, a new month, and also a new year, and just the exciting challenges that will come with that. So I hope this has been useful for you. Stay and just reflect on this as long as you would like. I am looking forward to opening the year with some yoga and meditation in January. So I hope you will join me then. Thanks so much for being here. Oh, and if you want to find out more, you can go to www.shinelighttherapy.com and you can go to meditations or the shop and see some of the things that I offer.